the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this.
It's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. The Browns at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Second and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 16. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Pickett leads his Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 22. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 24, Pickett. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now Cade York for the extra point. I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw, Pickett. Looking for Austin, intercepted. And the Browns are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And again, it's Chubb. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and that'll keep this a 9-point game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very solid gain of 27.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football, So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now a first down carry for Harris. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll try the right side with Harris. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
After one, it's 9-0. Here's Pickett. Flushed out right. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team, because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw brought in by Austin. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Pickett will look to throw it here. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. That's Derek Barnett coming in and making the play.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this will remain a 16-point deficit.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. On the give, this is Harris. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Pickett. Pickett lost it. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Completes it to Austin. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Faking the give. Now Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And down he'll go at the 25. 59 yards on the ground for him so far. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
From just shy of midfield, Pickett, he's going to wind up and air it out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that trims the lead down to 9. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They run again with Harris. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing him.
And now Watson throws another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Pickett back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
The Browns drive about to get started. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And Chubb will try the middle here. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Back to throw, Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Austin shifts by him, and he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Harris. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 2, Pickett. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he will have a Steelers 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Now a give, running left is Harris. Down to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Pickett. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Myles Garrett just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Pat Freiermuth. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. So quite the comeback here. They have erased that deficit, pushed themselves out in front now here in this 4th quarter.
This game's kind of felt like a horse race, hasn't it, partner? Because, yeah, the other guys run out to their big lead, but then slowly and surely, they've been creeping up and closing that gap. Now they've stuck ahead in front here late in the game. The finish line's not far away. They need their defense to finish this thing off.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Cleveland offense ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Watson. Pass complete to Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Here's Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Watson to throw. Forced out to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead. And also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this, because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple, because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
Yeah, we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there.
Looking to throw here, Pickett. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Here's Pickett. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Greg Newsome. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Cleveland, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And now they'll head to the bye.